Secret Beach versus the northeast of Ambergris Caye. One of the biggest questions I get is, well, where should I invest? Should I go to the northeast? Should I go to Secret Beach? In this video, I'm gonna break down livability, buildability, investability. You guys got a lot of abilities, and I'm gonna tell you the answers to all of them. Now, you might notice I do more Secret Beach content than northeast content, and there is a reason for that. You're gonna find out in this video, so come along for the journey and learn which one of these is the best investment for you. Before we dive into this though, we gotta go around the beach and hear why people love Secret Beach or don't. What are the pros, what are the cons? Let's do a little research on the ground because there's no better way than to hear from people that are experiencing it right now.
Okay guys, my name is Robinson Ramos. I'm located right here at Secret Beach. I'm a local artist. I do some nice arts.
All right, it was a little bumpy, but as soon as you hit the road for the Secret Beach, it was on point. It was good.
Yeah, I would definitely buy a property out here. I'd buy one of those properties right there.
Most of the businesses on this side, all of the tourists come on to the famous Secret Beach. Where here is no Sargasso, all the beaches are clean.
As you get closer to Secret Beach, I don't know, a couple, 4 or 5 miles away, I don't know, it just turns into brand new pavement that's great.
I would definitely live out here. Matter of fact, I live out here now.
So I prefer the Secret Beach because the north side is way far. Secret Beach is just like 25 minutes, 30 minutes the most from town.
Well, I like to fish, so I walk the beaches, go fishing in the morning, go back, have breakfast, take a nap, go out and eat, come back and go swimming.
The first chapter we're going to look at here is buildability. Now we're going to talk about everything from, is it more expensive to build in a certain location? Is it more challenging to build in a certain location? So let's kick it off with Secret Beach.
For big developments, you need big trucks. Now, let's look at what's happening at Secret Beach.
Hi, my name's Robbie Brooks. I'm from Ontario, Canada, and this is Laguna Cove. Laguna Cove is a 2-bedroom, 1-bath house that sleeps 8. You have the sunset over here and the sunrise over here. We have a pool deck over here. It's got everything that you need to see everything. You got a screened-in porch. This thing is fully off-grid. Laguna Cove, and it's been amazing.
Behind me, you'll see a beautiful concrete 1,200 square foot home, and there are pros and cons to building at Secret Beach, and I want to talk about a couple of them for you. So, the biggest pro of building here that makes it substantially easier than building at a place like the northeast of the island, well, I'm standing on it. These things called roads. Roads like this. Now, why did the tourism board choose to pave at Secret Beach? Because they're the government body that paved this first third of the road on the east-west road. They chose Secret Beach because it is one of the top tourist destinations in the country, and it is where a lot of the attention in Ambergris Caye, the #1 tourism destination, is going. Now, what I'm standing on is not only a comfier ride to Secret Beach when you're going home on your trip, it is also a clue from an investment standpoint. Anyways, roads make it cheaper to build because you got to get your materials to the site, you have to get your crews to the site, and everything is exponentially harder when you can't just drive your materials up. The other factor is barging materials in. Right now I'm standing on top of something called a barge, and when you live on an island or are building on an island, you need to get materials from the mainland over to the island. The way they typically do this is by barge or by plane, and obviously with construction materials, you're not going to be flying those in on a plane because, well, that's going to be really expensive. So your materials are going to come in on a barge, and when we're looking at building in either area, your build cost is really going to be determined by your labor force and your material costs, and of course the quality of your contractor, but a big factor is going to be getting materials to your site.
Now that we understand a little bit of the logistic challenges, I made my way up north to talk a bit more about building in the northeast.
So what you're gonna find up here is there are quite a few half-completed projects, and a lot of people ask me, Will, why is that the case? And it's really quite simple, guys. When you're building, the biggest part of building is getting labor to a site and the logistics of getting materials to a site. So as you guys see as we were driving up here, the roads coming up here are quite difficult to get materials up to, and in a lot of cases as you get further north, damn near impossible for a truck to access. So typically what they're gonna have to do up there is barge the materials in. Now as you move further north on the island, you'll notice that the reef actually gets closer to land and there's more coral reef, different areas and patches within the distance of the shore to the reef. So logistically getting your materials to site is very difficult. Then your labor force. What a lot of people building up here will tell you is that you need to have labor on site.
It's one thing to hear it from me, but I wanted to get with an expert, a builder or a project manager, to explain to you guys the differences between the two areas.
Hello, I am Kelsey Luna from Construction Management Services Belize. If we were to compare Secret Beach with Northeast San Pedro, we're always going to face challenges when we are building in remote locations. One being a lot more remote than the other. Northeast, we're going to have logistics issues, so importing of materials where we can take various routes. One would be by barge. This definitely has a large cost impact. You can go by the road. This does take time, and it's also susceptible to the weather conditions, right? In the case that we have unfavorable ones, there's going to be lengthy delays, and it's just some elements that we can't control. Northeast, the surveying, we would have to make sure we have qualified personnel out there. It's the middle of nowhere. Make sure you are marking the correct locations and can proceed with your build legally. You can definitely see that in Secret Beach, there's a lot more development. Everything is going up, it's populated. That does bring its advantages. Whenever we have a bulk of workforce heading there, builders, and competition in general, it really helps.
My favorite thing though up here is the luscious greenery and the beautiful plants and the trees. Year round, it's about 75 to 82 degrees. You know, it's always sun shining, and there's always something to do on the beach. I mean, you can swim all year round, you can fish, I mean, you can bird watch. And it's just quiet, it's just peaceful, it's slow and relaxing. I know a lot of the equipment, getting the equipment up here is difficult. The concrete and all the labor workers up here. Definitely driving the road, it's a struggle, it's a constant battle. One week you'll have it and it's nice and flat where they've graded it, and then a week later it rains and you have trenches you gotta drive through.
Now that we know a little bit about building in the two areas, it is time to learn about the livability of the two areas. So what is it, the lifestyle like living at Secret Beach or in the Northeast? We're gonna break all of this down for you guys. Starting with Secret Beach, we're gonna hear from a current owner that's living out there, Dustin Edmondson, and he's gonna talk about the experience of living in Secret Beach.
Hey, Dustin Edmondson, I'm from Michigan, and we built this sweet house out here on Secret Beach. Well, we came down here about 2 years ago and for vacation, and we cruised out to Secret Beach one day and we loved the area. After coming home about 6 weeks later, actually as soon as we got home, we started looking for property and dreaming about finding something down here, and I came across a couple lots on RE/MAX's page that were still available out here. Right now, it's remote, it's quiet. It is going to be getting built up and everything, but right now we're less than a mile away from, I don't know, half a dozen pretty cool restaurants and bars. We built a prefab home from Premier Homes. It's a 600 square foot house. We put it, I think it's about 9 feet up in the air on stilts. We picked all the important things we wanted. We have a nice kitchen, you know, a nice bathroom and a nice bedroom, and that was the important stuff. So, and we're building a huge screen-in porch right now, so that's where we plan on spending most of our time.
Yeah, hi, my name is Jason Teeples. This is my son Dylan Teeples, and we're coming out of California. I've been coming to Ambergris Caye since 2002, diving. Been an investor in the Secret Beach area since 2019. All right, so some of the features of our house here, we have a 3-bedroom, 2-bath with a pool. We have a 1,000 square foot covered deck with a custom outdoor kitchen. We have a reverse osmosis system. We have filtered ice always on tap. We have good internet. We have the pool, our private area. Some of our favorite things to do is to come back from spearfishing and diving and rinse off in the outdoor sink our fresh catch. Be making margaritas on the countertop and grilling. And we went nighttime swimming. One of the features you probably don't hear people talk about here at Secret Beach is...
We saw the Little Dipper more than twice.
We did see the Little Dipper. We were looking at constellations. The difference between Secret Beach and North for me, the Sargass, if I'm saying that right, the Sargass, that time of year where that comes in. You know, I've been coming here since before that we had that issue, and man, to look out at those reefs and see that and catch the breeze on that side of the island was kind of like the dream, so to speak. Yet, I still get all those breezes right here. We have the biggest swimming pool, the most beautiful swimming pool just a few minutes down the street right here. at Secret Beach. And if you want to get some food or drinks and have some music, you can do that. But if you want a little quiet beach, we have that too. And we just snorkel. And I mean, Dylan, he's pulled a starfish out bigger than his head to come look at in the water here. So
from here, let's head up to the Northeast and learn a little bit about what it's like to live in the Northeast.
Well, up here, it's most of all, it's quiet, really laid back, and we get the chance to do a lot of things that people don't really have in town.
But what about livability? You have your property out here or at Secret Beach and you're ready to go, you move in full time. What are the key differences? Well, when you're looking up north, the major difference is going to be your time to get to town. Both areas are somewhat secluded. You're gonna be more off the beaten path, but the major difference is your transportation time to get to town. So from where we are right now, up north on the East Coast, it's about an hour and a half to 2 hours on a cart versus Secret Beach, which you're looking more like 45 to 30. Both areas do have beach bars, some resorts. Obviously you have Margaritaville up here. In Secret Beach, you have all the bars, all the activity going on there, some hotels as well. So you're gonna have those day options. And of course, some of the ecological and environmental aspects of it. At Secret Beach, you won't have the sargassum and some of the other stuff we talked about. And over in the Northeast, you're going to have that. It is gonna be seasonal. Some days you're gonna have perfect views like this. Other days you're gonna be dealing with the sargassum. And that's really the livability breakdown when you're up north for Secret Beach.
This is really beautiful. It was a long, quiet, remote drive.
The driving is okay, but most of it is dirt roads, so it's a lot of bumps. And then especially at night, it's a little creepy. But it's a long drive though. Like you have to be mindful of like your surroundings.
The drive is pretty bumpy. You have to watch for the different situations to steer around the holes.
But up here at Margaritaville, compared to Secret Beach is more of an island superhighway to get out there, and not much of a secret.
I like being on vacation. It's nice, the water. It's kind of secluded, but it's like a con and a pro at the same time.
And it's not hard to get to. It's pretty simple. It's maybe half an hour from San Pedro, maybe a little bit longer than that. Up here, we're kind of on our own, just driving around in the 2-track all the way up here.
That is livability, and realistically it could go either way because livability is going to be your personal preference. So I'm going to give a check to Northeast and to Secret Beach. From here, we're going to look at investment potential. Let's talk investment potential.
As we're driving up, I come across another project that is unfortunately in very rough shape that I used to come to frequently. I would actually boat up here and enjoy a nice day. Now it stands to reason this is going to get fixed up with time here. But I do want to talk to you guys about the physical construction that's going on currently. Now, if you're investing anywhere in Ambergris Caye, I think you're making a great decision. But people who are looking at what is the long-term play out here, it's important that we give a comparison where we actually look at physical progress of what's happening and not just news headlines. Now, so far we've driven, I would say about 10 miles up here. And along the way, I'm not exaggerating, guys, from the Secret Beach turnoff to where we are now, there might have been maybe 3 houses or projects under construction along the way here. There are some projects that are getting fixed up or repaired, but overall, compared to a place like Secret Beach, where you have hundreds of homes going up, roads going in constantly, new bars opening up. When you ask people in town, where's the place I should go? They say Secret Beach. You see the physical change there, and it's happening every day with new houses getting laid, new foundations getting laid, new brick and mortar, and all those things coming in. Another tool that we have is the Google Earth historical tool, and I'm gonna show you guys an overview side by side of both areas, and get ready, because I don't know if there's a more profound part of this video than showing you this. But before I show you guys the Google Earth tool, which is going to be one of the most important things you see in this entire video, I need to first give you a breakdown of the development of both areas and exactly what's going on right now and the future plans as well. So let's start with the Northeast. And guys, before I dive in on that, just know I'm developing in Secret Beach. I'm investing in Secret Beach. I'm building in Secret Beach. I am more bullish on Secret Beach, and I'm biased in this chapter, but I think the facts I'm going to tell you are going to be as unbiased as possible. So buckle up and get ready. So for the Northeast, when you look at the amount of homes that are being developed up there, we were counting them as we were driving, and there's some different resorts going up, but overall we counted about 5 homes being built currently. Now we didn't go into all the developments, go into all the streets, but even say it's 10, 15, say it's even 20 or more. We're just not seeing visually the development. So we hear a lot about things like, oh, okay, well, there's a Margaritaville there now, which was an older hotel that was converted to a Margaritaville. Still a great sign for the area, but there's also things I saw like El Secreto, which used to be one of the premier hotels on the island, that is fully abandoned up there. So I don't know what's going on with that. I hope that they start to re-operate that and someone picks it up. I'm hearing whispers that could be happening, but for me, I look at that and just say, why is this happening up north? Now, take all of this aside. You know, you say, Will, I just saw the international airport is going up there, man. I gotta get in there now before, you know, this international airport is built. And I hope the international airport is built. I'm not gonna sit here and give you guys a guarantee of this because I don't know. The truth is it might happen, it might not. But look at the international airport in the city you're from. Typically, it's not the area you wanna live beside. You're not gonna find these beautiful residential homes directly adjacent to the airport. You're not gonna find the best hotels directly adjacent to an airport. You're gonna find typically some of the worst hotels adjacent to an airport. And you're gonna find a lot of noise, pollution, and other things that you just don't wanna live beside. So I see it as a net benefit to the island. I just don't see this big benefit for people that are buying directly adjacent or calling me to buy directly adjacent to that airport. So hope it happens, but that's kind of my overview of the Northeast. When I give you the flip side here and talk about Secret Beach, the big thing for me in Secret Beach is just watching all the homes go up, all the new roads go in. So it just passes the eye test and I can see the development going on there, but don't hear it from me. Let's go to the tool that I talked about, the historical Google Earth tool, and let's check there to see exactly what's happening.
So this is the Google Earth tool here. I'm sure you guys are familiar with it by now, but they have this nifty little feature right here that we're gonna click in a second, the historical tool. First, I just wanna give you guys some perspective here. You have San Pedro town right here. This is all of the new road infrastructure up in the Secret Beach area, extending all the way down to Aruna over here. So let's just take a little peek here when we click this tool. We won't go back too far here. Just back to about 2018, you'll notice all of that road infrastructure that has been added in there is gone. So basically, the total amount of roads in there have almost doubled in that time frame. Now let's make our way up north. So you got town here, you have the Secret Beach area. We're driving up the coastline here and we're in the north now. Let's get our nifty little tool there that lets us go back in time with Google Earth. We'll go back even a little bit further to 2016 there, and you will notice there are some new roads up here. There's been some smaller developments that have gone on, but nothing as substantial as what we've seen in the Secret Beach area. So there's still things happening, of course. It's just really when you use that eye test, you can kind of see the distance and the difference in the road infrastructure. I think you guys are starting to get the picture. Every chapter, we got to hear from some actual people that have done it, built it, invested in it. And you already know we're talking about investment potential. So let's hear from an investor.
The island's full of opportunities. I know a lot of people have to choose between the East Coast and the West Coast nowadays. My clients built this resort and we have something special coming, but we chose the West Coast for a number of different reasons. The East Coast, not only does it deal with the sargassum issue, which is a big reason why people decided to come out west during the pandemic, it also is a much slower pace in development. So we're seeing a lot more growth coming out at Secret Beach. And if you go up and down the coastline here, you'll see dozens of properties being developed. Whereas if you go over to the East Coast, there's a lot less development happening and it's just a little bit less desirable when it comes to getting sunset views and all of that. So West Coast is where it is at.
Welcome to Roadkill Bar and Grill, guys. This is located just right on the road, heading down to Secret Beach area. Roadkill Bar has been open for roughly going to about 4 years. So on a daily basis, we get probably about 100 or 2 or way more than that. The number always keeps increasing of tourists passing by just around here daily, heading down to the Secret Beach area. Especially with like the habitat and the new areas that are getting built, that's looking very good. So it's bringing a lot of potential to the Secret Beach area.
When it comes to investing in the Northeast, one of the things that is most talked about is the Margaritaville Hotel. And we headed up there to give you guys a little breakdown of exactly what's going on there.
Margaritaville, you guys see I am up here right now and I want to talk about two things quick. I'm going to talk about investment potential and Margaritaville's impact on the Northeast, but I'm also going to talk about if you're looking to vacation here. So right away, I want to say I'm very impressed with everything I've seen. The dock out here, the pool, the pickleball court, the staff are super nice. For people that are looking for a remote vacation destination, Margaritaville is a very good option, and it might be one you'd want to look at. Let's hear it from some other experts, maybe like that Ruben Young guy.
All right, so we're talking investment potential. Northeast, Secret Beach. Where do we look? So I do this every day. I'm Ruben. I work with the RE/MAX squad here in Belize. And every single day, it's folks from around the world asking me, where should I build my Airbnb house? So if you're thinking the same thing as well, location is everything. If you're Margaritaville, over the span of acres with guest housing, with staff housing, with amenities, pickleball, a giant pool, restaurants, absolutely. Now, if you're building a house, we've got to be more aware of what's happening around you and what type of value that brings to your Airbnb guests. What's going to get you 5-star reviews? On the Secret Beach side, you've got bars, restaurants, you've got a growing area, tons of neighbors popping up around you. It's half the distance to San Pedro town, and frankly, the water itself is the pure destination that most people are looking for when they think of islands and beaches. So with that, unless you're building a 55-room hotel, I'm taking the West Coast at Secret Beach.
In my opinion, when it comes to investment potential, it is not even close. It is a resounding win for Secret Beach. And that is the comparison video of the Northeast versus Secret Beach. In the end, we broke it down into 3 chapters, starting with buildability. We broke down the road access, the barge ports, the proximity to town, and for those reasons, it is significantly easier to build in the Secret Beach area. We then looked at livability, and this is the chapter that's probably closest to even because it really boils down to your personal preference. Although I will say I would expect more people to prefer living closer to town as opposed to having to go almost twice as far to get to the Northeast. But again, this one could go either way. And finally, we looked at investment potential, which I think was the biggest win for Secret Beach. When you look at all the road infrastructure, the tourism board paving roads, the hundreds of homes going in, the development along the coastline, it's hard to deny that Secret Beach is the #1 emerging area in Belize and in Ambergris Caye.
And that is the full breakdown of Northeast versus Secret Beach from my perspective. Get in the comments section, let me know. I'm sure you guys will if you don't agree with something. I hope you do. I appreciate you guys watching. And other than that, if you want to buy a property in the Northeast, my email's up there. If you want to buy a property in Secret Beach, my email's up there. Other than that, guys, if you're looking to learn more about the Secret Beach area, there are some of the biggest developments that are happening that we didn't cover in this video, but we did cover it in this one right down here. So click that link if you want to learn more about Secret Beach. And other than that, we'll see you in the next video. And you already know, hopefully down here in paradise soon.